Hello and welcome. A bit more of The Witcher 2 today. On previous episode, we had just been and got the bandana of Trish, the woman I'm trying to find. So the sorceress lady can actually basically chase her up and find her. Alright. On the way back, I came across a man looking for some harpy feathers. So I managed to get hold of that, and I cajoled him and give him some more. And I found some weird symbols in a quarry, but I don't know what they're for, but I'm sure they'll become evident as time goes on. Right, so let's hand this mission and see what she says. Where is she? There she is. Or I could rob her in front of her. I'll rob her. There.
You wanted to discuss something?
I've got Triss's bandana.
Have you learned anything?
Triss was here. Letho forced her to teleport.
Why would he? There are easier ways to travel.
Two of Letho's comrades,
like
probably those responsible for Demoven's death, were hiding among the Scoia'tael. When it became evident in Flotsam that the Kingslayer wanted to dispose of Yorvith, the Scoia'tael leader gave the order to eliminate them. Letho had to reach the unit before the Elven messengers did. He could only do that by teleporting.
I assumed that Triss wanted to teleport to me, but she missed the mark and they ended up in the gullies. What happened next?
Letho left her in a gully, wounded. He probably thought that she'd diversify the local trolls' diet. He himself went to see the elves and massacred the unit with his comrades. They're somewhere on the other side of the fog.
What about Triss?
She escaped from the troll. Everything suggests she's somewhere in the area.
I can assure you she is not in Vergen.
She has to be here. Locate her.
I'll try, but it will take some time. Have you learned anything else?
Sheila ordered Letho and Triss killed.
I can't believe that.
Believe it. I ran into some mercenaries she enlisted to kill Letho and anyone found with him.
She must have meant the other Kingslayers. Are you sure she knew Triss was with him?
Are you so sure of Sheila? There was something going on between her and Triss. I sensed a lot of tension.
A misunderstanding.
Maybe. Let's find Triss and clear everything up.
I need some time. What's going on out there?
Let's see.
A loading screen.
What's going on?
The peasants want to take pitchforks to King Demoven's son.
Why?
The Dragonslayer's servant is spreading rumors that Stennis poisoned Saskia. The commoners are in an uproar. They want to dispense justice.
Where's the prince?
Barricaded himself in his room, guarded by nobles. For the moment, the peasants are still respectful, but they are feverish. A fight is inevitable. Help us out. The situation is dire. I'm going to inform the other nobles.
Okay, Witcher's on the way. And that baby is crying.
Dogs growl at cats. Cats hiss at the dogs. A noble's a wolf to a peasant.
Forget those animalistic similes and take care of it. I'll try to locate Triss. And should anything happen to Prince Stennis, remember, we need his blood.
I remember.
Okay. I seem to have some moral choices ahead of me. Wait for events to unfold.
What's this? Clad in hues of green, amidst
What?
shrubs he's seen, crouching on legs bent, catching flies to rain.
Alright.
Lord Scoia'tael waiting in ambush? That's supposed to be a frog.
No, it was just when I failed a mission there and I hadn't done anything, I panicked. Right. Assume I go up this way. Right.
Hello, Witcher.
Hello! Right, but before anything...
Say someone cast a spell.
Don't try
It
anything.
fell as if dead.
Right, I better level my character up and work out what I'm going to do. Alright. That's my vitality raised. Bit of a save, just in case. No my luck.
The commoners claim it's our prince's doing.
Such judgment is above their station.
Serfs and lords will never...
Geralt! It's good to see you.
Yes, Dandelion.
The commoners claim Stennis is involved in Saskia's poisoning. They're looking to slaughter him.
What's stopping them? Nobody's maintaining honor.
What's stopping them?
The Knights. Adernian noble lords.
Not easy to raise a hand against a blue blood.
A peasant by the name of Calton was at the council. He didn't seem to respect anything or anyone.
Calton's a blackguard. He'll use any excuse to raid and plunder.
He has a taste for noble blood. They say he buries gold looted from the lords in some gorge. Looks like things are getting nasty.
Okay, let's see how well this is going to go.
Hear me! What do you want? I'm Skill and Burden. I keep order in Vergen.
Or doing a nice job then? Where was you when they poisoned Saskia?
Give us the prince! Get the flails!
Stop!
Yorvith!
Squirrels! Everyone who wants to leave this yard in one piece, keep your hands off your weapons. I don't care if you're a serf or a lord. I'll kill you all if need be.
What's going on?
The servant carrying wine during the feast said that Prince Sternes and Olgan poisoned Saskia. We want justice!
You want revenge. It's not the same thing.
We don't care. Saskia's fallen as if dead, while the poisoning prince and noble lords rush to herd us onto the field and sell us to Henselt. We won't let them!
You lie, Calton. Nobody's being sold out. The poisoner must be caught and tried by law.
Your law? What then? He'll pay a fine and get spanked on his ass? We'll spank him all right, with an axe to the throat!
That's not really
Where's this
spanking.
servant?
Safe. The Scoia'tael keep an eye on him.
Why is the prince hiding in his house if he's innocent?
Enough! I'll shoot the first to reach for a weapon. Then heads will start falling.
There's more of us. You can't kill every...
Then you'll be first. Now back off!
Calm down, everyone.
We need to act quickly.
What's your plan?
I'll frighten them a little. Bleed them if need be. I'll buy you some time, but be swift. I can't hold them off for long.
Okay, what's the... to
Question
do what?
the peasants and the nobles, and talk to the dwarves. Maybe you can get to meet Stennis.
Even if he's guilty, I'm sure he's prepared a suitable story.
You'll know how to sort the sheep from the goats.
Okay.
Also, find the servant who started talking so suddenly. You won't have time to talk to everyone, though, that's for sure.
Humans only care how their asses rise as their stations do.
They're playing into Henselt's hands. If they start at each other's throats, we'll have to face the entire amount of
Can we have a word?
Why not? I'm Ogden, a founder. I cast mugs, plates, chalices. You need any?
No thanks. The tableware in the council chamber is your handiwork?
It is. Made it back in Mayor Farragut's time. Since then, each and every goblet has hit the floor dozens of times, and what happened? Nothing, because they're steel. My goblets are indestructible, impervious to both the fury of sovereigns and servants who are all thumbs.
Saskia's chalice was new.
Aye, it was. Back in Mayor Farragut's day, Avenger Saskia was no more than an itch in her da's breeches.
Who ordered the goblet from you?
That goblet was a gift. A way for the folk of Vergen to pay tribute to Saskia. I got the honor of casting and presenting it to our lovely leader. The lass liked it so much, she's not used any other vessel since she received it.
Was the order for a normal goblet?
Not a chance. It was supposed to be a gift. I ornamented it richly, even on the inside. Not terribly practical, that, as it's hard to get clean. Some scum is bound to remain. But I wanted it looking downright regal, worthy of our Saskia.
The other chalices were not ornamented on the inside?
Course not.
Any chance?
Any chance there could have been two identical goblets?
Why, there's no craftsman that comes close to me in Vergen.
Could someone have tried to copy your handiwork?
Ha! I know of one who's been trying for years, but he's a fumbler, a screw-up. He's not produced one decent vessel. They all look like the work of a drunken elf. Thorax, his name.
Okay. Thorax.
See you at the inn. We'll grab a beer.
This is can't mix water
What would the
with
prince
fire.
gain with the virgin's death?
Saskia could.
I could tell you what
And you
he
see
lost
what they
for
did
Can
to
we have a word?
Murders in the
As I
air.
see it, every princeling likes
Sorry, it's like an episode of Taggart, this. Take care.
See you.
Alright.
Guilt must be proven. Otherwise, it's vigilante justice.
I'll grant you that.
Okay. I'm worried about a time scale here. I want to feck it up.
Can we have a word?
Murder's in the air.
Yeah, I've spoke to this guy. I wanted to speak to the other guy, but obviously I
See
can't.
you.
Serfs and lords will never be on the same side.
Humans only
Things look
care
bad.
how
Witcher,
their
come
asses
over
raise
here.
Are furious.
nations do.
They finally have a chance to strike back for all the wrongs.
The noblemen won't yield.
They're a cowardly lot.
They know their heads will follow Stennis's.
It's a deadlock, with the prince's guilt still to be proven.
Yarpen says it's someone from Edom. Sheldon, on the other hand, would shave his beard if it's not Hensel's spies.
Anyone reached the prince in his chamber?
Not even close. The nobles guard him like a matron does her ward's hiney.
If the rabble slaughters the prince, there'll be no stopping them. They'll start doing things their own nasty way.
That's why the nobles will support the prince, even if they believe he's guilty.
Now, I'm sure Stennis' hands are dirtier than a peasant girl's fucked in a barn.
Why would Sheldon suspect Henselt?
He'd sooner reach an agreement with Stennis than Saskia. Her death would be very convenient.
Zoltan?
I'm wondering how anyone could manage to poison the wine. Saskia's a quick-witted lass. She doesn't let just anyone near. Someone she knew must have done it.
Okay.
Has Yarpen got any evidence?
No, Yarpen's an old cook and says he's got a feeling. Plowing soothsayer.
He might be right with those feelings. After all, not just anyone can pass through the Wraith's mist. It has to be someone local.
So it never crossed your mind that Henselt might have sent someone here before those ghosts appeared.
Okay.
They're playing into Hensel's hands. If they start
Get
at
more
each
ops.
other's throats, we'll have to face the...
What do you want?
We of noble birth always had to protect the plebs from their own stupidity. If not for us, the world...
I don't have time to listen to songs praising the nobility. Know anything about the attempt on Saskia's life?
No, I don't. But whatever the truth, the mob cannot lynch one of royal blood.
So truth means nothing to you. That's what makes us different.
I didn't say I don't care about truth.
I think this
Just
is the
keep
guy
in mind,
who may have
there's a
started a
world
fight
order
with
that
me.
mustn't be destroyed.
An order that allows injustice.
If the prince turns out to be involved in this attempted murder, he should face a tribunal. The rabble doesn't understand the principles ruling the world.
Or they do understand them and simply don't like them.
Saskia is a wise woman, but there's one thing she doesn't take into consideration. This war will be over one day. Who will sow the crops and milk the cows then? Saskia called the serfs to arms. Do you think they'll want to plough fields again?
You may be right, but it's certainly not my business who'll plough your fields. Farewell.
Okay, he sees
Can't
like
mix water with fire.
talk to Stennis. Right.
Save your threats
see
for
what
your
they did to her?
hog-smelling woman.
I'd gladly hear your opinion on the situation.
Finally, someone reasonable. It's obvious Henselt bribed some serf who then did what he was told.
That's interesting.
Just think it through. The prince couldn't have done it. The wine was in plain sight. Only the servants touched the decanters, and who are they? Commoners. Then that same commoner incited his folk to stand against the nobles and the prince.
Something to think about.
Okay.
Give us this horsepower!
So
Roll in dung, you surly dog!
so he's saying it is the
I'd
servant.
gladly hear your opinion.
Finally, it's obvious
The local peasants love Saskia.
Those surly dogs would gleefully accept a heavy pouch. Show me a serf with any sense of honor.
That's interesting.
Just think it through.
That is interesting.
The prince couldn't have done it. The wine was in plain sight.
Okay.
Then that same commoner incited his folk to stand against the
Something to think.
Alright, let's
Save
speak.
your threats for your
What would the prince gain with the
hog-smelling
virgin's
woman.
death?
I could tell you what he lost with her life. Power. As I see it, every...
Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel?
Those witches be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
He better search for a lad who served the Virgin instead of pissing around.
Yeah, once done with the prince, he'd better take care of the magnets, throwing their weight about too much they are.
The prince stood right next to Saskia during the council. Did he have access to the wine cellar beforehand?
How should I know?
Why flap your mouth then?
The prince is a wealthy lord. Bribing a skivvy to poison the wine is nothing to him.
Just because someone can afford gold teeth doesn't mean they'll pull their healthy ones.
Ah.
You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but loves the Virgin like a sister and mother put together.
He'd gladly get quartered for her.
Where's this Willie of yours?
In his
Sorry.
shack, afraid of them lords. Squirrels guard him.
What's it really all about? Who's backing you?
We want justice.
We don't need no one backing us. We knows what to do.
How would you punish the prince?
If a lad counts hens wrong, he'll be flogged. What should we then do with a man poisoning others?
More flogging?
A land without a ruler is a nightmare.
We have a ruler, the Virgin of Eden.
It's not certain she'll live.
Then we'll choose another who'll manage. But he must be one of us lads. That way he'll understand us.
And all people is gonna be equal. Our way.
Our
And
way.
the non-humans?
We have enough down on the fields. Let non-humans find a non-human land.
Oh, great
Away
racist.
with them.
Okay. Good to
Farewell.
Give us this horsepower. Enough of this charade.
Try to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough. Come on, lads. Let's drag the prince from his hovel.
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
Oh, shut
That's
it.
why. The mongrel covets the crown.
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her, he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the Virgin sips it.
No need to poison the wine. Smearing the poison inside the chalice would be enough.
I never heard of anyone poisoning a chalice.
You haven't heard much then. One of the Emperor's forebears died after sampling some lamb. He was always scared of poison and ate supper with his cook. The murderer spread poison on one side of a knife. Then he cut the meat so that only a small piece was poisoned.
The witch is right. Give us Stennis.
Saskia's got her own chalice.
It was commissioned from one of the dwarves. The order came with a very detailed drawing.
Even so, how did it come into Saskia's hand?
Okay, good question. I'm not convinced. I don't know.
A good point. We can't be sure if the prince poisoned the wine.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanted to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his savior.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis' room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene dumbhead the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Vergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they wanted, nobody but Stennis could do it.
Oh, this is guesswork. Oh god, I should have spoken to more people, and I would be shit at Columbo. Just one more question.
Those are just words. Too much guesswork and not enough evidence. You can't convict anyone based on that.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins.
I do need some
What
of
do
that,
you
by the
want?
way.
To judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world.
And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Eden?
Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Eden, can judge me.
Can it? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you?
I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign.
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
The prince is guilty. I think a lynching would be a bad idea. I don't know if he's guilty. Alright.
The prince has a right to a fair trial, no matter if he's guilty or not. We can't deny him that. What will the peasants do if we hand them the prince? Will they hear him out? No. They'll hang him from the nearest tree, or tear him limb from limb. What will happen if we allow a lynching? What if people see that might makes right? Who'll guarantee they won't desire to avenge their wrongs, real and imagined? Who'll protect people whose only fault is noble birth from the exasperated mob? And where will it lead?
Okay. Have I got away with this without causing too much problem? Oh, he's been arrested. Okay.
The peasants are furious.
They didn't dare mount a frontal attack.
But they haven't forgotten about Stennis, and won't. It'll be that way until Saskia regains consciousness.
She won't keep order by strength alone.
Unless it's a great strength.
We need an authority figure, and royal blood.
5 courts go to waste in the Dwarven dungeon at the moment.
There's also Henselt.
Going into that haunted mist is madness. Stealing Stennis away would be easier.
No. Anything involving Stennis will cause a riot.
I've had enough of the peasants and nobles barking. Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt's army with this rabble, which is why I'm going to get reinforcements.
Okay.
Where?
4 Scoia'tael units await in hiding to the east. Time to summon them.
You'll make it in time?
I must.
Okay. I don't know how well that went, really. I can't get in there. I should have talked to more people. My Columboing was rubbish, to say the least. Alright. Let's see what's happened to my journal. Oh. Alright. So, hunting magic. Talk to the phones about magical locations. Talking to suspect. Let's go on. Where is this suspect? I feel I should do slightly more investigation on this before I go back to Philippa. Maybe should redeem me for my bad TV detective work. Right. Ah, this dude. Is it you? There it is.
Anyone order an exquisitely adorned goblet from you?
I get the occasional commission for tableware, sure. But what exactly are you talking about?
Saskia's goblet. Was that your handiwork?
That ugly bucket! Did you intend to offend me? Whoever made that thing should be whipped! I certainly hope Saskia orders her vessels from me next time.
If she gets a chance to order anything again.
Wait for events to unfold. Alright. Journal. Journal. Where is? Let's see. Obtain some of Thingy's blood. I could have just let him be murdered, but I'm not that kind of guy. I've got a source of power. I've only got... Where's Trish? Let's go and find this. Did it say the guy's being protected by some elves? I don't think there's anything up here, is there? Right. I think I know the house they're speaking about, but I don't know exactly where it is.
Eh? That's a witcher, not a human.
Okay.
I had a dream. We were mining up at the face of the drive, like in the old days.
Oh, no. Not this way.
I remember you were shite at working the pickaxe. Swung at my young woman.
Okay. Must be up this way, back to Trish. Do. I think I've taken the most long way around possibly. Ah, this is the house I was speaking about.
Don't let her die, Vatican.
Oh no, it's the house that's got Saskia. Saskia? My inability to pronounce anyone's name probably not the best in this game, as always. Alright.
So, got it over. I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
Yes, as you say, every time I run past. Alright, let's see what she says. Is there any need for this? Oh, avert your eyes.
I tried locating Triss, but the mist disrupts the megascope. There's a weak signal nearby, probably on the other side.
In the Kedweni camp?
You'll have to pass through the mist.
There's no time to lose.
I'm continuously scanning the battlefield. I'll show you the way through. I'll find you when you enter the mist.
Farewell then.
We still need royal blood.
I know. Henselt.
We need his blood, not his death.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a Kingslayer?
Are you not going to mention the elephant in the room here? I just vanished. You're not going to mention the fact that you were...
You wanted to discuss something.
What a dirty girl you are.
Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.
Yes, I know all that, but why the hell were you... Oh, you changed quickly. Beating on your poor apprentice. Put some clothes on. I'm disgusted overall, so... on that shocking note, thank you very much for watching. This is another episode of The Witcher 2. I'm Epic Whimsy. Thank you very much for watching. If you do not watch any of my stuff on a regular basis, please subscribe. You'll get the best way to keep up to date with all my videos and malarkey. Any comments always appreciated, and any likes always appreciated as well.